The story of Barack Obama and Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton and James Comey and Clapper and Brennan and Merrick Garland and this whole cabal trying to frame Donald Trump and keep, most of all, and this is the key critical component to all of it, is to keep in perpetual power forever. That's the thing about this story that we can't ever lose sight of. Yes, we can get mired in the details of it. Yes, we can get mired in the names and the when and the how and the this and the dossier and the names and the... I hate getting mired in names and timelines because I think names and timelines, that's for the courts. That's for attorneys. For you and me, it's to understand the why. The broad reality and realization of the why. Why did all of these Democrats try to frame Donald Trump? Because they wanted to stay in perpetual power. And they wanted to lord that perpetual power over you. It's twofold: maintaining the levers of power and then lording it over you, duping you, lying to you by framing any challenge to their power. And then once they have artificially held on to that power through lies and obfuscation and trickery and underhandedness, once they have managed to achieve their hold on that power, then they want to lord it over you and weaponize it against you. We were just talking during the break. How many remember the story of the weaponized IRS? How many of you, I got a note from a gentleman called Clay. Clay knows who he is. He's a friend of the show. Clay sent me a note the other day, and he said, I really was thinking about that time during the virus and the fact that I was this close to losing my job because it was mandated that I take it, and I didn't want to take it. And I almost lost my job and the ability to provide for my family. And he said, Chris, I'm not over that. I'm still really angry about it. And I said, man, I get it. I am too, because I was in the exact same boat. I was this close to either losing my job or taking a shot that I didn't want to take because Joe Biden was going to use the full power of the government, as he oversaw it or whoever was running it, to force me to do it or else. Tea Party associates and conservatives were targeted by Barack Obama's IRS. Catholics, pro-lifers were targeted by DOJ. Homes raided in the pre-dawn hours. Families scared to death. Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Merrick Garland, James Comey, these are really bad people who didn't want the American people to know how bad they were. They wanted the control. They wanted to lord it over you. They wanted to make sure that parents who opposed their DEI, radical, gender-bending crazy in public school districts all over the country, they wanted to make sure that any of us that rose up and spoke up against it at school board meetings were called criminals and investigated as such. These are really bad people. And so when they take to social media, I read here again, Ellen, the talk show host who was disgraced and run out of L.A. because her little talk show where she played Miss Nice, she was in fact a monster. And one of the great secrets in Los Angeles in entertainment was that Miss Nice, Ellen DeGeneres, was actually a shrew, a harpy, a mean, nasty human being that everybody loathed and didn't want to be around. She made for hostile work environment and the like. She packed up with her lady friend, wife, whatever, and moved to Europe. And she's given an interview that she did it because of Trump. Same with Rosie O'Donnell. They fled because of Trump. James Comey records that, Trump's just trying to fire anybody that's not part of his team. Donald Trump is doing nothing but trying to downsize and unplug the federal government from your life and mine. Donald Trump is trying to empower you. He's trying to empower small business. He is trying to deregulate. He is trying to put disposable income back in your pocket. He's trying to empower the American worker and the American workforce. These thugs, these goons that saw his appeal and saw his agenda and knew it was coming for them and didn't know how to stop it, the only thing they could do was weaponize government against him and try to frame him and in the process, lie to you to try to maintain control of government so they could weaponize it against you and get 70-some million of us brought to heel through sheer force and coordination through media outlets and social media to silence us. That's the why. That's why this is important. The particulars, those will be sorted out in court, but never forget the central why it happened. And we can't let it happen again.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.